Safety and your vehicle. Basic maintenance. Regular care and maintenance should ensure that your car is safe and roadworthy. It will also help fuel economy and keep exhaust emissions to a minimum. Check the following items on a regular basis: lights, brakes, steering exhaust system, seat belts, horn, speedometer, wipers and washes. These must all be working properly. Oil and water levels. This is especially important before a long journey. Be careful not to overfill with oil, as this can cause leaks. Brake fluid. If this is allowed to get low, it's dangerous and could cause an incident. Battery levels. Unless it's a maintenance-free battery, it may need topping up with distilled water to just above the cell plates. The windscreen. This must be in good condition. Tire pressures. Check regularly, at least once a week. Do this when they're called to get a more accurate reading. Underinflated tires can affect steering. It will feel heavy fuel consumption. It may increase braking. Tire condition. The tread on car and trailer tires must be at least 1.6 millimeters deep across the central 3/4 of the breadth of the tire and around the entire circumference. It's illegal to drive with tires that have deep cuts in the sidewalls. Uneven wear on the tires can be caused by faults in the braking system. Suspension wheel alignment. If the wheels are imbalanced, they could cause the steering to vibrate. Defects. If you have a basic understanding of how your car works, it helps you recognize the signs of a defect. It's important that your car is checked regularly by a qualified mechanic, especially the brakes and the steering. Warning lights on the dashboard tell you about the performance of the engine and warn you of any faults. Check your vehicle handbook for their meaning. Do not ignore the warning. It could affect your safety. The ABS warning light should go out when the vehicle's traveling at 5 to 10 miles per hour, 8 to 16 kilometers per hour. If it does not have it checked by a qualified mechanic. To check the condition of the shock absorbers, bounce the vehicle push down hard over each wheel. There should be no more than one rebound when released. Consult a garage as soon as possible. If the steering vibrates, you may need to have the wheels balanced. The vehicle pulls to one side. When you brake, your brakes may need adjusting. Safety equipment. Modern cars are fitted with equipment designed to keep you as safe as possible. Wear your seatbelt and make sure your passengers wear theirs unless exempt. The children under 14 wear a suitable restraint. If a correct child restraint is not available in the rear seat, an adult seatbelt must be used. Never fit a rear-facing baby seat in a seat protected by an active airbag. This could cause fatal injuries. The airbag must be deactivated first. Self-reflection. Not wearing a seatbelt can have serious consequences for you, your passengers, and other road uses. Have you ever driven without wearing a seatbelt? How would you feel if you injured yourself or someone else in a road traffic incident? Remember, if you're caught without wearing a seatbelt, you could be fined up to 500 pounds. When you get into the car, adjust the seat to ensure you can reach all the controls in comfort. Adjust the head restraint to help prevent neck injury in a collision. Wear suitable shoes so that you can keep control of the pedals. Adjust the mirrors to maximize your field of vision. Convex mirrors give a wide view, but can make vehicles look further away than they are. If you're reversing and cannot see behind you, get someone to guide you if visibility is poor. Use dipped headlights. It's important for other road users to see you. If there's thick fog, use your fog lights. When leaving your car on a two-way road at night, park in the direction of the traffic. If the speed limit is over 30 miles per hour, switch on your parking lights. Hazard warning lights are fitted so you can warn drivers of a hazard ahead, such as when you've broken down. Queuing traffic on a dual carriageway or motorway. Do not use them as an excuse to park illegally, even for a short time. Security. Make it as difficult as you can for a thief to either break into your car or steal it by engaging the steering lock. Removing the keys. Lock your car, even if you're only leaving it for a short time. Locking any contents, especially valuables, out of sight, or better still, taking them with you. Not leaving the vehicle registration document in the car. The thief could declare ownership. Parking in a well-lit area or in a secure car park at night, when possible, to make it more difficult for the opportunist thief. You can fit an anti-theft alarm or a mobilizer. Use a visible security device, such as a steering wheel or handbrake lock. Have the vehicle registration number etched on the windows. Radios and other forms of in-car entertainment or prime targets for thieves. If you can install a security-coded radio, this would be a little use if it was stolen. Consider joining a vehicle watch scheme if there's one in your area. Considering other road users. Avoid parking your vehicle where it would cause an obstruction to other road users, such as in front of a property entrance, at or near a bus stop near the brow of a hill, where the curb has been lowered for wheelchair access, on a bend or opposite a side road. Never stop or park on or near a level crossing, or on the zigzag lines at a pedestrian crossing. This would block the view of pedestrians and drivers and endanger people trying to use the crossing environment. Motor vehicles can harm the environment, causing air pollution, while using up natural resources that cannot be replaced. Help the environment by driving in a fuel-efficient manner. This will help improve road safety, reduce exhaust emissions, and reduce your fuel consumption. You should reduce your speed. Vehicles traveling at 70 miles per hour use up to 15% more fuel than those traveling at 50 miles per hour. Plan well ahead so that you can drive smoothly. Avoiding rapid acceleration and heavy braking can cut your fuel bill by up to 15%. Change up as soon as you can so that you use the highest possible gear without making the engine struggle. Keeping the engine revs down uses less fuel. Have your vehicle regularly serviced and tuned properly. Make sure your tires are correctly inflated. Avoid carrying unnecessary loads or leaving an empty roof rack on your car. Over-revving the engine in lower gears, leaving the engine running unnecessarily. If your vehicle is stationary and likely to remain so for more than a few seconds, switch off the engine. You must not leave your vehicle unattended with the engine running. Always switch off the engine and secure the vehicle before leaving it. If you'll be waiting for some time for a passenger, switch off the engine while parked. Try not to use your car to make a lot of short journeys. Think about walking or cycling instead. Using public transport or sharing a car can reduce the volume of traffic and the emissions it creates. For example, modern trams use electric power. They reduce traffic and noise pollution. At all times, and especially after refueling, make sure your filler cap is securely fastened. If it's loose, it could spill fuel. Having your car serviced regularly will give better fuel economy, and your exhaust emissions will be cleaner. If your vehicle is over 3 years old, over 4 years old in Northern Ireland, it will have to pass an emissions test as part of the MO test. If you service your own vehicle, dispose of old engine oil and batteries responsibly. Take them to a local authority site or a garage. Do not pour oil down the drain. Also bear in mind noise pollution in build-up areas. You must not use your car horn between 11:30 p.m. and 7 o'clock a.m. unless another vehicle poses a danger. Continuous high speeds could increase the risk of breakdown. Make sure you check your vehicle before making a long motorway journey, particularly oil, water, and tire pressure. Avoiding congestion, you'll have an easier and more pleasant journey if you plan your route before starting out. Avoid busy times if possible. Allow plenty of time for your journey, especially if you have an appointment to keep or a connection to make. Plan your route by looking at a map. Using satellite navigation equipment, checking with a motoring organization, using a route planner on the internet. If you're traveling on a new or unfamiliar route, it's a good idea to print out or write down the directions, and also to plan an alternative route, in case your original route is blocked. If you can avoid traveling at busy times, you'll be less likely to be delayed. Help to ease congestion for those who have to travel at these times. In some areas, you may have to pay a congestion charge to use congested road space. In London, you may also have to pay the ultra-low emission zone, ULEZ and/or low emission zone less charges. Residents living within the London charging zone obtain a reduced rate, but are not exempt. Facts. I've heard the term dry steering. What does this mean? This is when you turn the steering wheel while the car is not moving. It can cause unnecessary wear to the tires and steering mechanism. What is a catalytic converter? A catalytic converter is a device fitted to the exhaust system. It reduces emissions by acting like a filter, removing some of the toxic waste. Road humps have been installed in our area. What are the types of traffic calming measures? Are there, as well as road humps, road narrowing and chicanes may be used as traffic calming measures. These are used to slow the traffic down, so keep your speed down throughout the area. A reduced speed limit of 20 miles per hour, 32 kilometers per hour is being introduced on many narrow residential streets. Look out for the signs and remember, the measures are there for a good reason. They could save lives in an automatic car. What is kickdown? This is a device that gives quick acceleration when needed. For example, to overtake. Excessive use of kickdown will burn more fuel. On a trip to London, I saw red lines on the side of the road. What are they for? These indicate red routes. They help the traffic flow by restricting stopping on these routes. They can now also be found in other cities. I've heard of brake fade. What does it mean? This is when the brakes become less effective because of overheating. It may happen if they use continuously, such as on a long, steep downhill stretch of road. Using a lower gear will help braking. You, as the driver, are responsible for making sure